Hello everyone, your favorite night out here to talk about a simple question. Are rimmed cartridges bad? Alrighty then, before we get started, like, share, and subscribe. Check out the link below to my Subscribe Star account. Just a $2 monthly donation, help a small creator out. All these videos are hand shot. Alrighty then. Let's get on with it, shall we? We have here two examples of rimmed cartridges. And the question is, are rimmed cartridges bad? In fact, actually, I have three. And a representation of an even rarer in rifle format, semi-rimmed cartridges. Here we have some Hornady 6.5 jab. Cool beans, cool beans. We'll go through the various complaints that I often see related to these cartridges. The first, and an inherent, what's not necessarily design flaw, but something that it is prone to. As if you consider a flaw as a matter of opinion. Cool beans, cool beans. Oh, my nice little pattern's rolling apart there. We have this older rimmed cartridge right here. It would probably be better to start with this one. This is a 11mm Mauser cartridge. Now, mostly with rimmed cartridges, they tend to be in older firearms, such as the Mauser Model 71, which is a black powder cartridge gun. Another example of a rimmed black powder cartridge is 4570 Government, which is popular amongst some groups, particularly as a brush gun. The performance of 11mm Mauser falls between the performance of 4570 Government and my pardon, slip of the tongue there, 5.77 Martini Henry. Cool beans, cool beans. So anything you feel comfortable using 4570 Government on, a modern iteration of 11mm Mauser should be just fine. This is 303 British, probably a very underrated cartridge. For short-range 1 to 200 meter hunting, this is a perfectly fine cartridge. It's fired out of the Lee Enfield series of rifles predominantly, although you can find some non-Lee Enfield hunting rifles chambered in this cartridge. This is a Hornady round that I have as an example. A Hornady example, there we go. That's a better way to describe it. This 11mm Mauser I bought from Buffalo Arms. They do a lot of reproduction ammo. For those of you firing old guns that you can be fairly difficult to find ammo for. Then, well, the primary complaint is with the age of the firearms. They tend to be quite outdated and generally not in the best of shape. Depends on where you get them, as sometimes you can find them in very good condition. You can still find Enfields and Mauser 71s in condition. However, rifles in this particular cartridge tend to be collector's items. So, that's a knock against using this cartridge, as it means you are using a firearm that probably belongs in a collection or a museum somewhere. 303 British can be found in Enfields, and there is a lot of unfortunate but ill feelings against the Enfield line, predominantly in the American market, which is a very pro-Mauser market. This particular cartridge can only be found in single shot and a tubular magazine version of that rifle. This comes from a rifle that generally has a 10-round box magazine. Alrighty then we have, however, there is exceptions to this, because 7.62x54R here can still be found in relative plenty, the rifles and the ammo. 303 British is less common than 7.62x54R, but is considerably more common than 11mm Mauser. And Mosin Nagant rifles and other rifles chambered in this cartridge tend to be fairly available. In the case of 7.62x54R. Now getting on to the inherent design problem, if you view it that way, that people have is the fact there is that rim. Let's see if I can demonstrate for you. Move it on here. As you can see, if you do not align them correctly in the magazine, it will lock them together and it will not feed properly. Some rifles get around this through an interrupter. However, a lot of rifles do not. Alrighty then, I'm making a mess on the board today. Now, as to availability, 303 British is less available than 54R and but is more available than this 11mm Mauser, and rim lock is easy to avoid. Just make sure you load your rifle correctly in the magazine. In fact, even loading rimless ammo, if you do not fully seat it back, you will end up with feeding issues out of most bolt guns. However, rimless ammo does not have problems with rim lock if you don't do it correctly. Now, I do not inherently see that as a problem. I see it as a deficiency less than a true problem, as it just takes practice, and you can find in Lee Enfield and Nagant rifles nice little old stripper clips which aid in that process. In fact, the stripper clips for the Nagant I have here even have an arrow, so you know which direction is to be put in. Fantastic. Performance-wise, 7.62x54R is a very good cartridge. Mosin Nagants make a fine hunting rifle. In fact, I would argue that this is actually fairly underrated as a cartridge for hunting, as most people use it for, say, in the case of preppers, and for quote-unquote tactical shooting. There's also the collectors and plinkers out there. Cool beans, cool beans. 303 British is primarily purchased by those who enjoy the Enfield line, which is not a particularly extensive group, especially in a Mauser-dominated market. Finding this cartridge could be a bit of an issue. The rifles are good, and the main complaint people have is the rim lock, which just takes practice. And if you incorrectly load ammo with even rimless cartridges, you can run into a problem misfeeding anyway, and some rifles just don't feed well no matter what type of cartridge they use. Alright then, we got to move on to channel. Just a quick unscripted rant. Well, moving on to channel news. We'll be continuing to upload these IRL videos to my BitChute account and to YouTube. And YouTube will also get the periodic stream, which is gameplay streams, in case you're interested in that. I will seek to upload these IRL videos, tabletop and walk and talk, when I'm out and about in the yard, when the weather improves. Alrighty then. These videos are generally, I'm going to try to script more of these videos, as generally they are not scripted, depending on the video format. As here, it's simply an unscripted tabletop talk. Alrighty then. I'd like to thank you for your time. Like, share, and subscribe. Please do check out the link below to my Subscribestar account. Help a small creator out with just a $2 monthly donation. Fantastic. Alrighty then. I guess I'll be seeing everyone around.